Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks for joining me for my last project using the Not Too Shabby March box of the month. And I'll be creating two cards today using the little ladybugs and the happy frogs paper pads that came in that box, as well as the ephemera. In my last video, you might recall that I kept calling these ladybugs bees, but I was corrected. These are actually ladybugs. So if I call them bees during this video, just know that I know that they're ladybugs. But the cards that we're doing today, you're going to need an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock cut down to 8 by 5 1/4. And the cards today are another set of really super easy cards to create. I believe this is called an envelope fold, but I am not absolutely positive. You're going to need pattern paper, and these two pieces are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And since I'm making two cards, that's why I have two pieces of pattern paper. And then I have two panels that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to start out with the main portion of the card, and that is that piece of paper that is 8 by 5 1/4. I'm going to score these at 4, so slightly smaller than an A2 size card, and that's basically going to be the card base. And then you're going to take the kind of triangle or the square that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and really all you have to do is figure out which part you want to be the flap part, the part that you're going to see on the outside, and then the part that you're going to see on the inside. And you're going to basically on the back side of that card base line up this piece of paper corner to corner, kind of as a triangle. And mine didn't end up perfectly for some reason. I'm not really sure why. So I had a little tiny bit extra that I needed to snip off because it was overhanging. But you're going to go ahead and adhere that, and that's going to be your envelope flap, basically, of the card. And then since this is a little bit of a thicker pattern paper, I am going to use my scoreboard again and score that right down the side of the card, just right on the other side of that white cardstock. And then I'll go ahead and fold that over and use my bone folder to give that a good crease. And so basically that is the main portion of the card, and then you're just going to decorate it however you want to decorate it. But this is going to go ahead and be adhered to one of those 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card panels. So I'm going to add some adhesive to the back side of this envelope fold and adhere that onto that black cardstock. And I'm going to leave a border around all four sides of that black card panel, just as if I were adding just a panel on top of my card base. And then now is where you just start decorating. I went ahead and I added that sentiment in the middle. It just says, "Hey lady, thought I'd bug ya." And I'm going to add one of these cute little ladybugs on the inside of the card. And then on the outside of the card is where you're going to add your, it could be a stamped image, piece of ephemera, whatever it might be, to hold the card closed. Basically, you're going to add something that's going to keep that triangle or the envelope flap closed. And I originally picked out this grass, and then I didn't end up using it, and then I ended up thinking that I probably should have put that in there. So I might go back and add that to the card. I don't have it on there right now, but I went ahead and grabbed another ladybug piece of ephemera, and I'm adding some foam to the back of it. And so basically you need whatever element you're putting on the front a little bit raised so that the flap of that envelope portion of the card can slip under there. And so when you put the foam on, just make sure that you have enough room for that envelope flap to slide under. So I just added the foam and added my little ladybug, and that's going to do it for the first card. The second card is basically the same. I just used some different pattern paper and a different piece of ephemera for the front. but it's going to be exactly the same layout and design. And you can definitely dress this up and add a little bit more to that front than I did. But I think this is cute because it looks like the ladybug is holding the flap of that envelope. And so here is a second card. And here are both of the cards once again. And the reason that I put sentiments on extra pieces of paper instead of stamping it directly onto the cardstock is because for whatever reason, when I first tried this, I probably made like 3 or 4 that I messed up on. And so I just went ahead and stamped those sentiments separately and added them to the inside of the cards. But that's going to do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed these cards. If you did like this video or find it informative, I would absolutely love a thumbs up. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to spend with me, and I hope to see you next time.